Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Power Up 365. How is your business doing today? How are you doing today? And today I'm going to speak about something that is very important. And I'm going to speak about something that happened to our company in the last month. And just to show you, it doesn't matter how much years experience you have, if you take your eye off the ball, you're going to find yourself in trouble. Business is not just focusing on one thing. That's what makes business so hard. But remember, business is the toughest sport there is. It's a game. You play the game every day, because if you get too serious in the business, you are going to get overwhelmed. You're going to be stressing all the time. You're not going to make great decisions. But there are systems that you got to watch out for. There are things that you got to continuously keep your eye on. I speak about the vital signs every month when I go and sit down with the directors of a company. I say, let's look at the vital signs. Who gives you the vital signs? It's your numbers. You got to know your numbers. Listen, what were the sales? What were the expenses? What are the debtors? What are the creditors? Who do you owe money? Who owes you money? What is the cash flow? And that is very important in business. So many times people just carry on. The business owners, which are good at something, they might be good lawyers, or they might be good engineers, or they might even be good accountants, and they're focusing on accounting because that is their profession. And sometimes when they keep doing that, well, a lot of times, because that's how businesses get into trouble, they take their eye off the ball and they're not focusing on the different departments there is. Right? They're not focusing on the different departments there is, and before you know it, you find yourself in big trouble. Why do big companies master this? Because they have the budgets. They have the budget to say, listen, this is the debtors department. This is the sales department. This is the marketing department. And then the CEO manages all those departments. They're reporting back. So the company is working, and there are people just focusing on debtors. There are people just focusing on marketing and sales. There are people just focusing on producing that product in the factory. They don't worry about sales. They don't worry about debtors. They don't worry about collections. But in the small, medium-sized business, do you have the budget for that? No. You do not have the budget for that. And that means there comes these times where you take your eye off the ball. Right? That means you're just focusing. And even myself, what I love doing is going and turning around businesses. I love sitting with the directors and saying, what are we going to do? I love coaching. Listen, what is your dream? Why did you get into this business? What do you want to achieve in this business? Let's get going. Let's push it. And I just want to see clients after clients after clients. Yes, then I have a billing department. We have prices. But what happens is, I've always said sales is the oxygen of business. Right? Sales is the oxygen of business, right? Sales is the oxygen of business, okay? But what you guys don't understand, you've got to understand your cash cycle, because cash is the blood of the business. Cash is the blood of the business. That blood must keep pumping. You can't let your pressure come down. You must keep pumping blood, right? I know it sounds drastic, but this is it. I'm always thinking in your business, when you're going to, sometimes I say your business is in ICU because your vital signs are not good. Your blood pressure, you don't have cash flow. You could have the best sales. You could have the best sales. I'm so proud of myself that I think I'm a great salesperson, right? You put me in the room, I can say, because I believe in what I'm selling. I believe I can change your life. I believe I can up your business. I believe I can take your business to beyond your expectations. Why? Because I've been doing it for 17 years. I know how to build great businesses. I've coached so many people where they think they're going to close down, they're going to go bankrupt. I've done so many of those transactions, so many businesses I've turned around in my life. So that's why I'm confident in my sale, because I can prove to you that I can change your life, change your business, change your team. But this month, even on my side, what was happening is I was focusing on sales, and that's right. Got to focus on sales. But you've got to understand your cash cycle. You've got to understand your cash cycle. And your cash cycle means, how do I take this from cash, from sales to cash? Because at the end of the month, you have to pay salaries, you have to pay rent, you have to pay. Those guys you can't pay them with a sale. You can't go and say, listen, I'm paying you because I did all these sales. You can't do that. You actually have to convert that sale into cash. Now, how do you do that? That's the whole thing about business. So I go and I sell you a product. Listen, I can do your financial statements. I can coach you. I can turn it. Now I've done the sale, right? Very important. How do you do sales? You need a pipeline. You need marketing. You need to be noticed. You need a brand. All that, it goes on sales. But then you actually have to produce. You actually have to deliver the product, because no one's going to just pay you if you can't deliver a product. A product or service must be delivered, and on delivery, it converts to cash. But how do I deliver that? Well, here comes the thing. You have people. You've got to manage people. Now, a lot of people lately are saying, I do not want to work with people anymore. I am leaving people in that. Or what you're telling me, you're going to play a small game. Because if you can manage people, if you got a bigger team, you can play a bigger game. You want to have a small team, and it's not, you don't have to do it, but you're never going to become. Yesterday I was speaking to a guy, he's quite successful, he's built businesses. I asked him, how many people do you manage? And he says, I manage 400 people. I know he's playing a bigger game. If I go to someone and say, listen, it's just me and my wife, where are you going to go? You can make a good living, you can become comfortable, rich, but you're never going to be working. So when I was speaking to this guy, he's speaking about millions every month. Listen, this thing is 1.3 million, this is 1.5 million, this is 2 million. He's dealing with 400 people. He's managing 400 people. His one property's rent is 1.2 million. The family business says, listen, I've got my rent of 2 grand, 3 grand. You know what? I've got to do this. It's never going to get to that level, right? It's never going to get to that level. That's why you can see the indication of leader. Now, to lead 400 people in business, you better have some leadership skills, okay? There better be departments. But how do you convert those teams? You got this team, right? You got this team of people. The bigger the team, the most probably bigger money you're going to make, bigger business you're going to make. Then you actually got assets. You got to go and take your assets. How much assets do you have? Do you have motor vehicles? Do you have computer? Every employee needs a laptop. Every employee needs this. Can you buy assets? Assets needs cash flow. Now you got to get finance. But this is the production to get from sales to cash. Now this is the one thing you need to understand. If you don't have someone, and cash is about debtors. The sales, it means debtors. Debtors. I invoice you, you are my debtor. I have to run to collect that money. The longer I take for you to get away from paying me, the bigger trouble I'm getting. I'm not helping you by not going after you to pay me, because this month you owe me 6 grand. Next month you owe me 6 grand. Before you know it, you owe me 18, 20 grand. You can't pay that. You're only earning that. Your budget was 6 grand a month. You spent that. So I've done a disservice for you by not asking you to pay, by not putting the pressure on you, by stopping your service. But what was happening with me this month, I was focusing on sales. I was focusing on servicing. I want to serve the people. I want to help. Do you know how many times people say, but Johnny, why don't you help people? You just want to get billed. You just want to get money. No, I want to get exchange. If I come and help you, if I provide you a product or service, that means I'm giving you value. For that value, there must be an exchange. There must be an exchange, right? So you're not going to give me eggs and a cow and whatever. You're going to give me money. You're going to give me money. I'm going to give you value. That's how it works. Every business works that way. The one business, you go there, they fix your car. You're not going to go give the guy eggs because he fixed your car. You're going to give him money. There's an exchange, right? But you can't tell him, I'm going to give you sales. You've got to give him cash through an EFT, through thing. You've got to convert your sales to cash. You've got to understand how you manage the business, right? You lead your people, you manage the business, you manage your debtors, you manage your creditors, and you've got to get yourselves to cash. Now, this month I found myself with my cash was not being managed. There was a weakness in my team, in myself, for not focusing on it. Therefore, I ran out of cash. Therefore, I had a difficult month end. Okay? You got to make sure that you focus on cash. Cash is the blood in your body. Cash is the blood of the business. Without blood, you can't move your oxygen around. Sales is the oxygen. Blood moves this oxygen, right? But your one goal is you need to have cash. You need to understand, how much cash am I going to have at this month end? What are my bills month end? Do I have enough to cover it? If you're not running and pushing and going after cash, you're never going to make it in business. Your business will fail. It doesn't matter what sales you have. It doesn't matter how great your team is. It doesn't matter what great product or service you have. If you can't convert that all into cash, you have a problem. Does that make sense? Thank you very much, guys. This is Johnny the Artist, your ultimate success strategist, and I will see you at the top. Cheers, bye.